Have you ever really stopped to think about what goes into a national plan for something as, well, as huge as artificial intelligence? It's so much more than just, cool algorithms or robots. It's about a whole strategy for where a country is headed. Here on the Deep Dive, that's exactly what we do. We try to cut through all the noise and really get to the core of these critical documents, the kind that genuinely shape things for years.
And today, we're diving deep into one of those key documents. It's called America's AI Action Plan. Came out in July 2025 from the White House, and the subtitle is pretty bold, Winning the Race. So this thing lays out a really detailed, comprehensive strategy, the goal for the U.S. to achieve and firmly maintain global dominance in AI.
Winning the race. Wow, okay. That phrase right there, it immediately signals like a major competition, doesn't it? The document even kicks off with this powerful quote from Donald J. Trump. He frames AI as a new frontier of scientific discovery, and this is key, a national security imperative. The goal being unquestioned and unchallenged global technological dominance.
Exactly. So right from page one, the main idea is crystal clear. AI has this massive potential to totally reshape the global power balance,
Yeah.
spark whole new industries, revolutionize how we live and work every single day.
It's really striking how explicit it is about this race for dominance.
Yeah, it is. And it draws these parallels, like you mentioned, to history. The space race is specifically noted in the plan. And the implication is pretty clear, just like back then. The nation that wins this AI race, they don't just set the standards globally, they also stand to gain these huge economic, tech, and even military advantages, benefits that could really define the next 100 years.
The plan lays out this incredibly ambitious vision. It talks about AI bringing about, get this, an industrial revolution, an information revolution, and a renaissance all at once.
Right.
I mean, that's a really audacious claim, isn't it? Usually just one of those revolutions takes decades, maybe centuries. Does the plan give any hints about how that's supposed to happen all at the same time, or is it more, a grand vision statement?
That's a great point. And the document definitely leans into the aspirational side of things there. It gives examples, sure, but the how is pretty high level and sort of assumes this unprecedented speed of change, almost like AI itself accelerates the process beyond historical norms. For the Industrial Revolution part, it talks about AI letting us discover new materials super fast, synthesize chemicals, make new drugs, even find totally new ways to get energy.
Okay. And then the information revolution part. It sees like radically new forms of education, media, communication. It really paints a picture of a fundamental shift in how we handle information, how we learn, how we share, how we create knowledge.
hmm And the Renaissance bit, that's where it gets really imaginative, I think, suggesting things like deciphering ancient scrolls we thought were lost forever, making huge breakthroughs in science and math,
Mhm.
and even creating totally new kinds of art, both digital and physical. It's like a vision of a massive leap in human creativity and intellect, all thanks to AI.
So, to grab this massive opportunity, the plan sets up three main pillars, foundational pillars. First, pillar one, accelerate AI innovation. Second, pillar two, build American AI infrastructure. And third, pillar the third, lead in international AI diplomacy and security.
And then kind of woven through all three of those pillars, there are these guiding principles mentioned right in the introduction. First, a really strong focus on American workers. They need to be central to this whole thing. The administration wants to make sure workers benefit directly. It says AI will complement work, not just replace it. And that the sheer scale of building all this AI infrastructure will naturally create tons of high-paying jobs.
Okay, workers first. What's the second principle?
Second, and this is a pretty significant ideological stance, it insists AI systems have to be built meticulously to be free from ideological bias. They should be designed, it says, to pursue objective truth, not push what it calls social engineering agendas, especially, when people are looking for facts or analysis.
Objective truth.
Okay.
And the third.
Third is this strong theme of vigilance, basically preventing misuse and theft of these powerful technologies by bad actors, and also keeping a constant eye out for new, maybe unforeseen risks that AI itself could create. So as we dive in, we'll see how this broad plan tries to manage something as huge as global AI dominance while juggling these principles. It breaks down into some very specific actions and directions.
So what's this mean for you, the listener, who's really interested in where AI is going? It means we're about to unpack the actual blueprint for how this administration plans to navigate this incredibly complex, world-changing technology. Let's start with pillar one. Accelerate AI innovation. The big goal here, make sure America has the most powerful AI systems anywhere. and leads the way in using them creatively, transformatively. And the primary way they want to do this is by creating conditions for the private sector to just run with it without too much getting in the way.
Yeah, the document really argues that leading in AI means the federal government needs to actively help the private sector innovate fast, flexibly, without being bogged down by too many government constraints.
And what's really striking is where Pillar actually kicks off. Section 1.1, remove red tape and onerous regulation.
Right.
The core idea. If America wants to stay number one in AI, the private sector can't be tangled up in bureaucracy. It even explicitly mentions getting rid of the previous Biden administration's Executive Order 14110 on AI, which it frames as potentially leading to a heavy-handed regulatory approach.
This really signals that permissionless innovation philosophy right away. It's a clear strategic choice. Prioritize speed, prioritize agility in AI development, reduce what they see as government hurdles. The argument being AI is just too important to be slowed down by bureaucracy, federal or state level.
So how do they plan to actually do that? What are the policy actions?
Well, first, the Office of Science and Technology Policy, OSTP, that's a key White House tech advisory group, they're told to launch an RFI, request for information,
Yeah.
basically asking businesses and the public what federal rules are getting in the way of AI innovation and adoption. And the idea is to then work with agencies to actually do something about those roadblocks.
Yeah. Okay, so gather input directly from people feeling the pinch.
Exactly. It's a way to pinpoint those specific regulatory friction points, find the rules that might be unintentionally stifling things, and then address them quickly.
And building on that.
The Office of Management and Budget, OMB, which oversees federal spending and policy implementation, they get a mandate. Consistent with an earlier order, Executive Order 14192, called Unleashing Prosperity Through Deregulation, OMB has to work with all federal agencies to systematically find, revise, or just plain repeal regulations, rules, memos, guidance, anything that unnecessarily hinders AI development.
Wow, all agencies. That sounds pretty sweeping.
It is. The scope reflects that unleashing prosperity idea. It's a really comprehensive push to strip away anything seen as a barrier to fast AI growth across the entire government.
And it even reaches down to the state level.
Yeah, this is interesting. OMB is also told to make sure federal agencies, when they're deciding who gets discretionary AI-related funding, they have to consider the state's AI regulatory climate. And if a state's rules are seen as hindering the effectiveness of that federal money, the plan says agencies should limit the funding going to that state.
Whoa. Okay, so using the power of the purse to influence state-level rules.
It's a strong lever, absolutely. It could definitely pressure states to maybe ease up on their own AI regulations if they want that federal support. Significant implications there.
Any other agencies involved in this regulatory push?
The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, gets pulled in too. Now, usually we think of them for phones, internet, that sort of thing, but here they're directed to evaluate if state AI regulations are interfering with the FCC's own duties under the Communications Act of 1934. It's a clear assertion of federal authority over state authority in tech regulation. Shows how deeply AI is expected to embed everywhere, including communications.
Right, sorting out who's in charge as AI spreads.
Exactly. Clarifying authority, making sure state rules don't create conflicts with existing federal law.
And one last point in this section.
Yeah. The plan mandates a review of all Federal Trade Commission FTC investigations started under the previous administration. The goal is to make sure these investigations aren't pushing legal theories that unduly burden AI innovation. And even more, the FTC is told to look at past final orders, consent decrees, injunctions. And if they find any that unduly burden AI innovation, they should try to modify them or even get them set aside.
Okay, so that clearly shows how a change in administration can really shift regulatory enforcement, right?
Absolutely. It's a deliberate move to reevaluate that balance. Consumer protection versus the push for rapid innovation. The dial is clearly being turned towards innovation under these directives. It's reorienting the regulatory focus.
Okay, let's move to the next part. Section 1.2. Ensure that frontier AI protects free speech and American values. This argues that AI systems are really shaping how we get information, how we live, so they have to be built with core principles like free speech in mind. The document says U.S. policies should never interfere with that, and this is a big one. AI bought by the government should reflect objective truth, not social engineering agendas.
This section really drills down on the values the plan's authors see embedded in AI. It's not just about the tech, what AI can do. It's about what it should do, how it should operate in a free society, according to these principles. It explicitly positions AI as an ideological space.
And how does it plan to enforce that? What are the actions?
Well, first, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, part of Commerce, they're told to revise the NIST AI risk management framework. And the instruction is very specific. Eliminate references to misinformation, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and climate change.
Wow. Okay, those specific items, that's pretty pointed.
It is striking
Yeah.
and very revealing of the underlying philosophy. It directly challenges frameworks that link AI risk to those concepts.
Yeah.
It's pushing for a redefinition of objective truth in AI, as seen by this administration.
What else?
The plan also calls for updating federal procurement rules to make sure the government only buys frontier large language models, LLMs, from developers who guarantee their systems are objective and free from top-down ideological bias.
So using government buying power to influence how AI is developed.
Exactly. It's a huge lever. The challenge, of course, is how do you define and measure objectivity or bias in AI? These are really complex, hotly debated topics in the field itself. Rigorous, consistent measurement is, well, it's tough.
And then there's a geopolitical angle here too, right?
Definitely. NIST's Center for AI Standards and Innovation, KSI, also at Commerce, they're tasked with researching and publishing evaluations of frontier AI models coming out of China. The explicit goal. See how much they align with Chinese Communist Party talking points and censorship.
Okay, so directly looking at potential ideological influence from rival nations' AI.
Yeah, clear national security implications there. Identifying rivals' AI as a potential vector for influence. It underscores the strategic need to understand not just their capabilities, but any embedded ideological slant.
Let's shift gears a bit. Section 1.3, encourage open source and open weight AI. The idea here is that these open models, the ones anyone can download and mess with, have unique value. They're seen as key for innovation because startups, researchers, they can build on them without paying for expensive closed systems. Plus, they're better for government use with sensitive data because they're transparent and essential for academics. The plan even calls them strategically important on a global scale, geostrategic value.
This part really highlights a push to sort of democratize access to powerful AI tools, especially compute power, which is a huge bottleneck. It suggests a belief that if more people have access, innovation will speed up everywhere, not just in a few big labs. Open models could become global standards, spreading American-aligned tech. That's the geostrategic angle.
So how do they plan to encourage this? Access to compute seems key.
It is. The plan recommends improving access to large-scale computing power, especially for startups and academics. It points out that right now, getting compute often means expensive. Long-term deals with the big cloud providers, the hyperscalers. That's tough for smaller players. So the plan suggests making the compute market more flexible, more like a commodity market thinks spot prices, forward contracts. This would involve collaboration with industry, NIST, OSTP, and the NSF's National AI Research Resource Pilot, the NR.
Making compute power easier and cheaper to get.
Exactly. It tackles a massive constraint. Training these big models takes immense power. If you make the market for that power more accessible, you lower the barrier to entry. That could really broaden who gets to innovate, beyond just the giants.
And partnerships play a role.
Definitely. The plan calls for actively partnering with leading tech companies to get the research community more access to top-tier private sector computing, models, data, software, all through that NAIR pilot again.
So public-private partnerships are seen as crucial.
Absolutely vital. A lot of the cutting-edge AI resources are in the private sector. Getting those benefits to the broader research community, that needs close collaboration.
And what about the AR itself?
The plan talks about building the foundations for a lean, sustainable AR operation. The long-term goal is to connect way more researchers and educators across the U.S. to these critical AI resources, not just a select few.
Okay, a long-term national resource.
Right. And to guide all this, OSTP is also tasked with putting out a new National AI R&D strategic plan. This big picture plan will direct all federal AI research money.
A unified strategy for R&D.
Crucial. Avoid scattered efforts. Make sure federal dollars are strategically aimed at breakthroughs that fit the national goals, pushing the boundaries.
And one last point for open source.
Yeah, getting it into the hands of smaller businesses. The Department of Commerce, through NTIA, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, is supposed to bring people together to drive adoption of open source and open weight models, specifically by small and medium businesses, SMBs.
Making it practical for them.
Exactly. So the benefits aren't just for big companies or universities. Open models can be more accessible, more flexible for SMBs. They don't need to buy expensive proprietary stuff. Helps them get in on the AI action too.
Okay, next section. 1.4. Enable AI adoption. The core idea here is interesting. It's not that we don't have enough AI models, it's that adoption is too slow, especially in big established organizations. It singles out healthcare as being particularly slow. Why? Distrust, complicated regulations, no clear rules for governance or risk. So the plan calls for a federal push to create a more dynamic, try-first culture for AI across American industry.
This really gets at a key point. Having the tech isn't enough. You need people to actually use it, and crucially, trust it. This whole section is about getting AI out of the lab and into the real world, especially into sensitive areas like defense, intelligence, where the stakes are incredibly high.
So how do they propose doing that, encouraging this try-first culture?
One major tool is establishing regulatory sandboxes, or maybe AI centers of excellence, around the country. These are like controlled environments where researchers, startups, big companies can quickly deploy and test AI tools. And importantly, they commit to sharing the data and results openly. Agencies like the FDA for Health, the SEC for Finance, that help enable these, with NIST providing support.
Sandboxes, so people can experiment without the full weight of regulations right away.
Exactly. It lets you test things out in a controlled way, figure out what works, what the risks are, without being immediately shut down by existing rules. This can really speed things up, especially in heavily regulated fields like healthcare or finance. You gather data to inform future rules.
What else on adoption?
NIST is also directed to launch efforts focused on specific sectors. Healthcare, energy, agriculture are mentioned. The goal is to bring together public, private, academic players to speed up national standards for AI in those areas. And also, figure out how to actually measure if AI is boosting productivity in real-world tasks within those sectors.
So tailored approaches for different industries. Makes sense.
Absolutely. Each sector has unique needs, unique risks. Developing specific standards builds trust, makes it easier for companies to adopt AI confidently, make sure it's actually useful in different contexts.
The plan also mentions defense and intelligence adoption specifically.
Yes, this is critical. The Department of Defense, DoD, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, need to regularly update joint assessments, basically comparing how well the U.S., its competitors, and its adversaries are adopting AI tools in their national security setups. These AI net assessments, as they call them, would then directly inform how the U.S. adapts its own AI adoption efforts.
So constantly checking how we stack up against rivals.
Precisely. It's about maintaining that competitive edge, understanding who's doing what with AI in defense and intelligence, and reacting quickly to stay ahead. It's strategically vital.
And keeping tabs on foreign AI development in general.
Yeah, to maintain that edge, the intelligence community, Department of Energy, KSI at DOC, the National Security Council, NSC, and OSTP are all told to work together. Prioritize gathering and sharing intelligence, specifically on foreign frontier AI projects, the really cutting-edge stuff that might have national security implications.
So a proactive intelligence effort to anticipate threats and breakthroughs from others.
Exactly. Vital for staying ahead in the AI race and anticipating shifts in global capabilities.
Okay, let's move on to section 1.5. Empower American workers in the age of AI. This section talks about a worker-first AI agenda, aiming to boost productivity, create new industries, provide economic opportunity, but it also explicitly says AI will transform work, and that needs a serious proactive response for the workforce. It even references a couple of earlier executive orders from April 2025 about AI education for youth and skilled trade jobs.
This part directly tackles a huge concern for a lot of people: jobs. What happens to jobs with AI? The plan's focus on a worker-first approach, with specific training and policy actions, seems crucial for getting public buy-in, for making sure the transition feels like workers can actually gain from this tech revolution.
So what are the concrete steps for workers?
The Department of Labor, DOL, Department of Education, ED, National Science Foundation, NSF, and Department of Commerce, DOC, are told to prioritize AI skill development in all their relevant education and workforce funding. That means pushing to integrate AI skills into career and technical education, CTE, general workforce training, apprenticeships.
Making AI skills part of standard job training.
Pretty much. Adapting existing training systems for the AI era, with a real focus on practical skills people can use right away in the changing job market, getting people ready for employment.
And there's a tax incentive mentioned.
Yeah, this is potentially significant. The Treasury Department is directed to issue guidance, clarifying that many AI literacy and skill programs might qualify as eligible educational assistance under Section 132 of the tax code. What that means, basically, is employers could potentially offer tax-free reimbursement for AI training. Makes it cheaper for businesses to do it.
Ah, so encouraging companies to invest in upskilling their own people.
Exactly. It's a smart way to scale up private sector investment, makes it financially easier for companies to train their current workforce, maybe save jobs, create new roles. It's a powerful money lever.
The plan also wants to study AI's impact.
Yes, understanding the real impact is stressed. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, Census Bureau, Bureau of Economic Analysis, BEA, and DOC, they're tasked with studying AI's labor market effects, using existing data, like tracking AI adoption at the company level, then provide analysis. Is AI creating jobs, displacing them? What's happening to wages?
Getting actual data, not just guessing.
Right. Moving beyond speculation. Proactive, evidence-based monitoring. So policymakers have a clearer picture of what's actually happening and can adjust policies if needed.
And there's a dedicated research hub planned.
Yes, DOL is supposed to establish an AI workforce research hub. This would lead a long-term federal effort, working with BLS and DOC, to really evaluate AI's labor market impact, do scenario planning, generate actionable insights specifically for making policy.
Actionable insights, so research meant to lead to real decisions.
That's the goal, not just academic papers. Research designed to directly inform and guide what the government does about AI and jobs.
What about people whose jobs are directly impacted?
For them, DOL is directed to use available discretionary funds, those flexible money pools, for rapid retraining. And DOL needs to give guidance to states on how to identify workers who've been displaced by AI and how to use existing rapid response funds efficiently to help them.
So direct help for displaced workers, a safety net and a path forward.
Yeah, aiming for quick adaptation within the workforce system. Mitigate the immediate negative effects, give people a way to transition.
And trying out new approaches.
Right. DOL and DOC are told to rapidly pilot new ideas for dealing with AI workforce challenges, like super fast retraining for skills that are suddenly in demand. These pilots would be run through states, workforce groups, using existing laws like the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, find scalable, effective strategies that actually work.
So being nimble, experimenting to find what works best.
Exactly, finding adaptable models that can keep up with how fast AI changes the job market, moving beyond maybe slower, traditional approaches.
Okay, let's shift focus again. Section 1.6. Support next-generation manufacturing, the core idea. AI enables new physical stuff. Drones, self-driving cars, advanced robots. And the plan says it's crucial that America and its allies become world-class makers of these things. It talks about prioritizing investment to bring about a new industrial renaissance.
Yeah, we often think of AI as just code, just digital, right, living in servers. But this section is a powerful reminder of its huge impact on the physical world. It's about using AI to bring manufacturing strength back, making sure the U.S. and allies aren't just designing this stuff, but actually building it.
How do they plan to support this? Funding.
A lot of funding mechanisms, yeah. Investing in foundational and translational manufacturing tech. This involves DoD, DOC, DOE, NSF, and others, using things like the SBIR and STTR programs for small businesses, but also bigger research grants, money from the CHIPS Act for R&D, even the Defense Production Act if needed to compel production for national needs.
So using a whole range of tools to boost physical AI manufacturing, linking AI to industrial policy.
Exactly. A broad approach, leveraging lots of existing federal funding streams to speed up domestic production of these advanced physical systems.
And supply chains are mentioned too.
Critical point.
Right.
DOC, through NTIA again, is tasked with bringing industry and government together to identify and tackle supply chain problems, specifically for American robotics and drone manufacturing.
Making sure we can actually get the parts needed to build this stuff domestically.
Precisely. Secure, resilient supply chains are absolutely vital for advanced manufacturing, reducing dependence on potentially risky foreign sources for key components.
Okay, next up, Section 1.7. Invest in AI-enabled science. The core idea. AI isn't just a tool for science. It's going to fundamentally transform how science is done. The plan notes AI can already do things like predict protein structures, design materials, and general models show promise for suggesting hypotheses, even designing experiments. This promises to speed up discovery massively, but only if science itself changes. We need new infrastructure. It emphasizes AI predictions aren't much use if we can't also scale up experiments massively. And we need more research to turn AI breakthroughs into real-world industrial things.
Yeah, putting this in context, AI is becoming part of the scientific method itself. This section really outlines a paradigm shift, moving toward science that's more scalable, much more data-intensive, and potentially way faster, getting beyond traditional, often very manual scientific work.
How do they plan to facilitate this shift? What kind of infrastructure?
The plan calls for NSF, DOE, NIST, and DOC, and others to invest in developing automated, cloud-enabled labs across lots of fields: engineering, materials, chemistry, biology, neuroscience. The vision is these labs get built through collaborations. Private sector, federal agencies, research institutions, often working with the DOE national labs.
Automated labs driven by AI.
That's the compelling vision. Highly automated environments for scientific discovery, speeding up research way beyond what humans can do manually, allowing rapid iteration, analyzing huge data sets, exploring vast possibilities in design.
Are there new organizational models proposed too?
Yeah, the plan suggests using long-term agreements to support specialized focused research organizations or similar groups. These would specifically use AI and other new tech to make fundamental scientific advances, maybe operating outside the usual academic structures.
Interesting. New kinds of research institutes tailored for AI-driven science.
Right. Acknowledging that the traditional grant system might not be agile enough for the kind of rapid, large-scale AI science envisioned here.
And data sharing is a big theme again.
Huge theme. The plan suggests incentivizing researchers to release more high-quality data sets publicly. How? By considering the impact of data sets from a researcher's past federally funded work when reviewing their new grant proposals.
Ah, linking future funding to past data sharing. That's a strong incentive.
Definitely addresses the critical need for data sharing for AI and science. It fuels more AI research, more model training across the whole community.
And there's a disclosure requirement too.
Yes. Federally funded researchers will have to disclose any non-proprietary, non-sensitive data sets used by AI models during their research.
Promoting transparency and letting others reproduce the work.
Exactly. Making sure the methods and data behind AI-driven discoveries are open for checking, validation, and reuse by other scientists.
Okay, that leads nicely into Section 1.8, Build World-Class Scientific Data Sets. The core idea: high-quality data is now a national strategic asset. The plan notes other countries, including rivals, are aggressively collecting huge amounts of scientific data. So the U.S. needs to lead in creating the world's biggest, best AI-ready scientific data sets, while importantly, respecting rights, privacy, confidentiality.
Yeah, this is a much deeper dive into data strategy than you might expect in an AI plan. It shows this fundamental understanding. Data is the fuel for AI. National leadership in AI is directly tied to leadership in data, collecting it, cleaning it, managing it responsibly.
How do they ensure the quality of this data?
The National Science and Technology Council's NSTC Machine Learning and AI Subcommittee is told to recommend minimum data quality standards for all kinds of scientific data used in AI training, biological materials, chemical, physical, etc.
Setting standards for good data, that sounds hard across so many fields.
It's a massive challenge for sure, but absolutely essential if you want to build accurate, trustworthy AI systems that work reliably across different scientific areas. Garbage in, garbage out, right?
Right. And accessing sensitive federal data for AI.
The plan calls for OMB to lay out new rules based on a 2018 law, CIPSEA. The goal is to make federal data more accessible by default, but also expand secure access. So AI can be used better for evidence building by statistical agencies while still protecting confidential data from misuse.
Tricky balance. Access versus privacy.
Very tricky. It's about building the right legal and technical guardrails so sensitive federal data can be used responsibly for AI without compromising privacy.
And practical ways to handle sensitive data.
The plan mentions establishing secure compute environments within NSF and DOE. These are basically secure bubbles designed for AI work, allowing controlled access to restricted federal data.
So specific secure infrastructure?
Yeah, practical solutions. You need robust security, isolated environments to make sure restricted data stays safe while being used for AI development.
How do people access this secure data?
NSF is developing a National Secure Data Service, NSDS, demonstration project. It's supposed to create an online portal, like a front door, for the public and federal agencies to find AI use cases that involve controlled access to restricted federal data.
Making it easier to find and use, but still secure.
Exactly. Centralizing access, simplifying the process for researchers and agencies while keeping security tight, fostering innovation within safe boundaries.
And then there's this really ambitious idea involving federal lands.
Yeah, this one's pretty wild. The plan explores creating a whole genome sequencing program for life on federal lands, led by NSTC, involving agencies like USDA, DOE, NIH, NSF, Interior. The massive amount of new data generated from this would be used to train future biological foundation models.
Wow. Sequencing life on public lands to train bio-AI. That's unexpected.
It's truly unique, forward-thinking. hints at a long-term vision for biological AI. It leverages this huge, untapped natural resource biodiversity on federal land to create unprecedented biological datasets. A really ambitious way to build foundational data for a whole new AI frontier.
Okay, let's move to section 1.9. Advance the science of AI. The core idea seems simple. Just like LLMs and generative AI were huge leaps, future breakthroughs could be just as transformative. The U.S. needs to stay the pioneer of those breakthroughs. That requires strategic, targeted investment in the most promising paths at the frontier.
This brings up a really interesting question, though. What does it even mean to advance the science of AI when, honestly, we don't fully understand how the current best models work internally? It signals a real commitment, though, pushing the theoretical boundaries, not just engineering better applications, fostering the next fundamental wave of AI capabilities, making sure America doesn't just use AI, but invents its future.
And the policy action here reflects that focus on fundamentals.
Exactly. Prioritize investment in theoretical, computational, and experimental research to keep America leading in discovering new, game-changing AI paradigms. And this priority needs to be baked into that upcoming national AI R&D strategic plan we talked about.
So, investing in the basic science, the why and how of AI, not just applications.
Precisely. Investing in the foundational science that will underpin totally new kinds of AI we can barely even guess at today. Keep that pipeline of future breakthroughs flowing.
Then we get to section 1.10. Invest in AI interpretability, control, and robustness breakthroughs. The core idea. Inner workings of frontier AI systems are poorly understood. Even if we know how LLMs work broadly, we often can't explain why they give a specific answer. This lack of predictability is a huge problem for high-stakes uses. Defense, national security, where lives are on the line. So the document says we desperately need fundamental breakthroughs to better understand, control, and reliably use these systems fully in critical areas.
Yeah, so this section is fundamentally about trust, isn't it?
Hmm.
Making sure we don't just have powerful AI, but AI we can actually understand, control, and rely on, especially when failure is not an option. The plan directly admits this is a critical weakness in current AI and wants to tackle it head-on with focused research.
How do they plan to tackle it?
The plan recommends launching a dedicated tech development program led by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA is known for funding high-risk, potentially high-payoff research. They work with KISI at DOC and NSF. The focus. Advancing AI interpretability, understanding why AI decides something, AI control systems, making sure it does what we intend, and adversarial robustness, making it resistant to being tricked or manipulated.
Absolutely. Interpretability, control, robustness, these are incredibly important for dependable, high-stakes AI, making sure systems are not just powerful, but predictable and resilient when it really matters.
And this research is also flagged as a priority for the main R&D plan. Yes, these areas are considered so critical they need to be a key part of the overall national AI R&D strategic plan. Reinforces their strategic importance across all federal AI research, not just a side project.
And there's a hackathon idea. That sounds different.
It does. The plan suggests DoD, DOE, KSI, DHS, NSF, and academic partners coordinate an AI hackathon initiative. The goal, bring in the best and brightest from U.S. universities to really stress test AI systems. Look for weaknesses in transparency, effectiveness, control, security.
Using crowdsourced brainpower in a competitive setting to find flaws.
Exactly. It's an innovative, rapid way to identify vulnerabilities and push the boundaries on AI safety. Harnessing collective intelligence dynamically to drive immediate improvements. Leveraging outside talent.
Okay, next topic under Pillar 1, Section 1.11. Build an AI evaluations ecosystem, the core idea. Rigorous evaluations are how the industry figures out if AI systems work well and are reliable. These evaluations are critical tools for defining and measuring reliability, especially in regulated industries. And the plan suggests regulators should really explore using these evaluations more as they apply existing laws to AI over time.
This gets to a fundamental question, doesn't it? How do we actually know if AI is doing what we expect, especially as it gets woven into critical infrastructure? The plan's strong focus on measurement science suggests a move towards a really rigorous, data-driven way to assure performance, getting beyond just ad hoc testing to something more scientific.
How do they plan to build this evaluation ecosystem?
First step, NIST at DOC, including KINA, is tasked with publishing guidelines and resources to help federal agencies conduct their own evaluations of AI systems, tailored specifically for their unique missions and operations, and for making sure they comply with existing laws.
So guidance tailored for different government needs.
Crucial. A one-size-fits-all test wouldn't work. A defense system needs different evaluation than, say, a healthcare AI. Specific, mission-focused guidelines are key.
And supporting the science behind evaluation itself.
Yes, NIST, DOE, NSF, other science agencies need to actively support developing the underlying science of how to measure and evaluate AI models effectively, shifting focus from just testing to deeply understanding how to assess AI rigorously.
Making evaluation itself more scientific.
Right. Creating a robust methodology, making sure evaluations aren't just checklists, but based on solid, repeatable, scalable scientific principles that can evolve as AI evolves.
How do they share best practices?
KISI at DOC is supposed to convene meetings at least twice a year, bringing together federal agencies and the wider research community, the main goal. Share what they're learning, share best practices on building good AI evaluations.
Fostering a community, learning from each other.
Exactly. Speeds up knowledge transfer, drives continuous improvement across government, avoids reinventing the wheel, helps everyone advance evaluation practices faster.
The plan also mentions AI test beds.
Yes, DOE and NSF should invest significantly in developing AI test beds. These are like safe, controlled, but realistic environments for piloting AI systems. Researchers can prototype new AI, speed up getting it to market. They'd involve lots of different players and cover key sectors like agriculture, transport, healthcare.
So, realistic testing grounds before wide deployment.
Hugely valuable. Test beds let you work out complex problems safely, check performance in tricky scenarios, and really show the practical value of AI in a tangible way.
And lastly, a NIST AI consortium.
Right. DOC convenes the NIST AI Consortium. Its purpose: to collaboratively establish new measurement science, identify proven, scalable, interoperable techniques and metrics, promote responsible development and robust evaluation of AI.
So getting industry together to agree on standards.
Exactly. Consortia play a vital role in driving widely accepted standards and practices. Bringing everyone together helps create evaluation metrics and techniques that the whole ecosystem recognizes and adopts.
All right, let's dive into section 1.12, Accelerate AI Adoption in Government. Now, if you've ever, dealt with government bureaucracy, this part might sound pretty appealing. The core idea: AI tools could massively boost government efficiency and effectiveness, speeding up slow, manual internal stuff, streamlining how the public interacts with agencies, all adding up to deliver what the plan calls a highly responsive government, the kind people expect. It also knows OMB has already moved to reduce what it calls onerous rules from the previous administration to help AI adoption.
Yeah, this is a clear signal that AI isn't just for the outside world. It can fundamentally change how government itself runs internally, making the machinery of government more efficient, ultimately improving how it serves citizens.
How do they plan to kickstart this internal transformation?
First, formalize the Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer Council, CAIOC, make it the main hub for interagency coordination and collaboration on adopting AI, and link it strategically with other key groups like the President's Management Council, the CIO Council. Ensure a unified approach.
Dedicated leadership and coordination for AI inside government.
Signals strong intent. Make sure AI adoption isn't random, but strategically guided, integrated across agencies. A unified federal AI strategy.
What about talent? Government often struggles to get tech talent.
The plan addresses that. Create a talent exchange program designed for rapid, temporary assignment of federal staff with specialized AI skills, data scientists, software engineers to other agencies that desperately need them. With OPM, the Personnel Office, involved.
Sharing expertise across agencies.
Exactly. Tackles talent shortages, creates a shared pool so agencies can deploy specialists quickly where needed, makes the federal AI workforce more agile, responsive.
And making it easier for agencies to actually buy AI.
Yes. The General Services Administration, GSA, the government's procurement arm working with OMB, needs to create an AI procurement toolbox. The goal is uniformity in AI buying across the whole federal government. Let agencies easily choose models, customize them, see what other agencies are using via OMB's existing AI use case inventory.
Streamlining the buying process, making AI tools easier to get and manage.
Right, while ensuring compliance with privacy, data rules, transparency laws, reducing bureaucratic hurdles for agencies wanting to use AI.
And sharing successful AI projects between agencies.
Building on that, GSA implements an advanced technology transfer and capability sharing program designed to quickly transfer advanced AI capabilities and proven use cases from one agency to another.
So agencies don't keep reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. sharing successes, best practices, accelerates AI adoption across the board, leveraging collective knowledge, speeding things up.
There's also a mandate about access for employees. Sounds ambitious.
Highly ambitious.
Yeah.
The plan mandates that all federal agencies ensure as much as possible that all employees whose work could benefit from frontier language models get access to them and appropriate training.
Wow. Equipping the entire federal workforce with AI tools.
It really shows the scale of the ambition, transforming daily tasks across government. The training required would be massive. Shows a profound commitment to widespread AI literacy and use.
And finally, improving services for the public.
Yes. OMB convenes a group of high-impact service providers, agencies. They would pilot and ramp up using AI specifically to improve public service delivery, aiming for real, tangible benefits for citizens.
Using AI to make interacting with the government better for people?
That's the focus, making government interactions more efficient, effective, responsive for citizens, leveraging AI to boost the quality of public services.
Now let's turn specifically to the military. Section 1.13. Drive adoption of AI within the Department of Defense. Core idea. AI can transform DoD, both warfighting and back-office stuff. Aggressive adoption is needed to keep military preeminence, but it has to be secure, reliable AI. And because DoD has unique needs, it gets its own specific actions here.
What's really interesting here is that dual focus. Both warfighting, think autonomous systems, intelligence analysis, and the back-office logistics, admin efficiency. It shows a holistic view of AI's potential in the military, from strategy and combat effectiveness right down to internal processes.
How do they plan to enable this in DoD? Talent first.
Talent is key. Identify the specific talent and skills DoD needs for AI at scale. Then, implement talent development programs to meet those needs. Drive effective use of AI capabilities throughout the military.
So not just getting the tech, but making sure people can use it effectively.
Critically important. Training personnel across all levels so they're capable of using AI effectively in military operations.
The plan also mentions a virtual proving ground.
Yes, establish an AI and autonomous systems virtual proving ground at DoD, starting by figuring out the technical, geographic, security, resource needs for such a place.
A virtual space for testing military AI? Why is that important?
Hugely important for safety and cost. You can rigorously test complex autonomous systems, maybe in simulated combat, without the real-world risks, logistics headaches, or massive expense of actual deployments.
What about automating internal DoD processes?
A very practical step. Develop a streamlined process within DoD for classifying, evaluating, optimizing workflows in its major operations and support functions. Identify priority workflows for AI automation. And when one is successfully automated, DoD should try to permanently switch to the AI version as fast as possible.
Applying AI to make the military bureaucracy more efficient.
Right. Drive for efficiency in non-combat functions. Identify where AI can significantly improve speed, accuracy, free up people for more complex tasks.
And ensuring access to computing power, especially in crises.
Critical resource. Prioritize DoD-led deals with cloud providers and compute infrastructure operators for priority access to compute power during national emergencies or conflicts, making sure DoD can fully leverage AI when it matters most.
Recognizing compute as a strategic wartime asset.
Absolutely. Ensuring military access to cutting-edge AI, especially in crises, is vital for maintaining a decisive technological edge over adversaries.
And building long-term AI expertise in the military.
Yes. Grow the senior military colleges into hubs for AI research, development, talent building. Teach core AI skills and literacy to future leaders. Foster AI-specific curriculum in military majors, covering AI use, development, infrastructure management.
Embedding AI knowledge deep within the future leadership.
Exactly. A long-term strategy. Creating a force that's not just equipped with AI, but intelligently led, inherently adaptive to this new era of technology.
Okay, next section. 1.14. Protect commercial and government AI innovations. Core idea. To stay ahead in AI, the U.S. government needs to work closely with industry, balance spreading cutting-edge tech with national security needs. And it's essential to address security risks, cyber threats, insider threats targeting U.S. AI companies, talent, IP, systems.
This really highlights that inherent tension, doesn't it? We want to innovate, share, go fast, but we absolutely have to protect against theft or misuse of these advances. This section is about building strong defenses for what's considered a critical national asset.
How does the plan propose doing this? Collaboration.
Collaboration is key. DoD, DHS, PolitiI at DOC, and relevant parts of the intelligence community need to work directly with leading American AI developers. The goal. enable the private sector itself to actively protect its AI innovations from all sorts of security risks, cyber attacks, insiders, sophisticated state actors.
So, a public-private partnership for AI security.
That's the model, acknowledging government can't do it alone. Close collaboration with industry is essential for a comprehensive, effective defense against sophisticated threats.
And the final section under Pillars 1, 1.15, combat synthetic media in the legal system. Core idea. Acknowledges the risk of malicious deepfakes, fake audio, video, photos. That's a visible concern. It mentions President Trump already signed the Take IT Down Act, championed by First Lady Melania Trump, dealing with non-consensual, sexually explicit deepfakes, but emphasizes more action is needed. AI-generated media creates new challenges for the legal system, like fake evidence being used to deny justice, so courts and law enforcement need tools to deal with this.
This raises a really profound question about the integrity of our legal system in the AI age. The plan directly faces that concern of fake evidence, aims to provide specific tools for telling real from fake, recognizing the legal framework has to adapt fast to uphold justice.
What tools are proposed?
MIST at DOC should consider developing its Guardians of Forensic Evidence deepfake evaluation program, turn it into a formal guideline and a voluntary forensic benchmark.
Standardized tools for analyzing deepfakes in legal settings.
Exactly. Tackles the technical challenge of detection, provides a consistent scientific basis for legal professionals to assess the authenticity of digital evidence.
What about guidance for legal proceedings?
The Department of Justice, DOJ, is tasked with issuing guidance to agencies involved in adjudication's formal legal decision-making. Explore adopting a deepfake standard similar to a proposed change to the Federal Rules of Evidence, Rule 901C, which deals with authenticating evidence.
So adapting legal rules for AI-generated evidence, burden of proof, things like that.
Right. A proactive step, making sure the legal system is equipped to handle these new forms of synthetic media and their potential impact on court cases.
And DOJ commenting on rule changes.
Yes. DOJ's Office of Legal Policy is directed to file formal comments on any proposed deepfake-related additions to the Federal Rules of Evidence.
Ensuring the justice system itself actively shapes these new rules.
Exactly. Proactive engagement, making sure the legal community has a direct voice in how these huge technological changes get addressed within the law, protecting judicial processes.
Okay, cool. We've covered a lot in Pillar 1. Accelerating innovation, addressing values, workers, science, government adoption, security. Now let's switch gears to the next major part of the plan. Pillar 6. Build American AI infrastructure. The overall goal here tackles something really fundamental: the massive energy and infrastructure AI demands. The plan aims to reverse the trend of stagnant U.S. energy capacity, ensure we have the secure infrastructure needed to guarantee AI dominance.
This is such a critical point and maybe easy to overlook. AI is different from a lot of digital tech. It fundamentally requires us to build way more energy generation and support infrastructure than we currently have. The document points out starkly that U.S. energy capacity hasn't grown much since the 70s, while China, meanwhile, has been rapidly building out its grid. So America's path to AI dominance is directly tied to changing that trend. Energy becomes a core part of AI strategy.
That huge need leads right into Section 2.1. Create streamlined permitting for data centers, semiconductor manufacturing facilities, and energy infrastructure while guaranteeing security. The idea is clear. AI needs massive new physical stuff: chip factories, fabs, huge data centers, new energy sources to power them. And the plan argues our current environmental permitting system, other regulations, make it almost impossible to build this fast enough. Plus, this new infrastructure can't use any adversarial tech that could undermine U.S. AI leadership.
This section is really about breaking ground, literally, tying AI dominance directly to our ability to build huge physical infrastructure, quickly and securely. The plan notes the previous Trump administration already made progress, reforming things like NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, which governs environmental reviews, and launched the U.S. Investment Accelerator.
How does it propose building on that, speeding up permits?
One way is establishing new categorical exclusions under NEPA, specifically for data center action that normally don't have significant environmental effects, to make the review process much faster for those.
A regulatory shortcut for certain projects?
Essentially, yeah. A mechanism for fast-tracking, balancing environmental review with the need for speed, acknowledging some projects might have minimal impact and shouldn't get bogged down.
What other fast-tracking tools?
Expanding the use of the FAST-E41 process. That comes from a 2015 transportation law. It allows expedited environmental reviews for major infrastructure. Now they want to expand it to cover all eligible data center and data center energy projects.
Applying existing fast-track tools to AI-specific needs.
Exactly, showing a determination to use every available lever to accelerate building critical AI infrastructure.
Any other specific regulations targeted? Water permits?
Yeah, it explores needing a nationwide Clean Water Act Section 404 permit just for data centers. If they do it, it should be designed not to require pre-construction notification. That's a preliminary review step. And it needs to cover the huge size of modern AI data centers.
Targeting specific environmental rules that impact big construction projects, trying to reduce delays.
Right. Recognizing the unique scale and needs of these massive data center buildouts and aiming to smooth the permitting path.
And broader deregulation of environmental laws.
Yes, recommends expediting permitting by streamlining or reducing regulations under the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Circle A, Superfund Law, and others.
Wow, a broad review of major environmental laws.
The scope is significant, signals a comprehensive effort to deregulate infrastructure development, considered absolutely critical for AI dominance and its huge energy needs.
And using federal lands, that sounds potentially controversial.
It could be. The plan directs federal agencies with lots of land to identify sites on federal lands suitable for large-scale data center construction, and the power generation needed right there to run them.
So using public lands for essentially industrial development on a massive scale.
That's the proposal, a strategic use of federal assets to support the national AI buildout. It definitely raises land use and environmental questions.
But with all this speed, security is still paramount.
Absolutely. Strong emphasis on security guardrails. Explicitly prohibit adversaries from inserting sensitive inputs into this critical infrastructure, stating the domestic AI computing stack must be built on American products, and the underlying infrastructure, energy, telecom, must be totally free from foreign adversary tech and services.
A strong national security focus on controlling the tech and supply chain.
Imperative. Ensuring the foundations of AI development are secure, free from potential foreign vulnerabilities that could be exploited.
And kind of ironically, using AI itself to speed up environmental reviews.
Yeah, it's a fascinating twist, isn't it? Use the very tech, driving the need for faster reviews AI to actually accelerate those reviews, cites DOE's Permit AI project, shows a belief in AI's broad power, even for tackling bureaucratic processes that might cause delays.
Okay, next, let's dig into Section 2.2. Develop a grid to match the pace of AI innovation. Core idea. The U.S. electric grid, this huge, complex machine, needs major upgrades to handle all the data centers and energy-hungry industries AI will drive. The plan calls the grid the lifeblood of the modern economy, vital for national security. But it's facing huge challenges, more demand from electrification generally, plus the massive needs of AI. So we need a comprehensive strategy. Not just patch the grid, but seriously enhance and expand it to handle these challenges and ensure strength for future growth and AI dominance.
This section really hammers home that AI isn't just software, it's fundamentally an energy problem. This plan directly links winning the AI race to a major overhaul of our national power infrastructure, including maybe embracing groundbreaking new energy sources. It recognizes that without enough reliable power, this whole ambitious AI vision just doesn't happen.
How does the plan break down this grid transformation? What are the phases?
First, immediate priority. Stabilize the grid we have now. That means stopping critical power plants from retiring too early, finding ways to use existing capacity better, like using backup power during peak times, and making sure every part of the grid strictly follows nationwide standards for having enough power available, resource adequacy.
Pragmatic first step. Focus on traditional power sources, maximizing current capacity. Sensible strategy while laying groundwork for growth.
Second phase, optimizing the existing grid. Right. Get as much as possible out of what's already there. It does. Towards energy reliability and abundance. Crucial for meeting AI's escalating demands, and reforming markets to incentivize investment in those reliable sources. That's a critical lever to make it happen.
And the final piece is a big strategic blueprint.
Yeah, create a comprehensive blueprint for navigating energy in the 21st century. Stabilize today's grid, optimize it, then robustly grow it for the future. Meet the challenge of winning the AI race while also delivering a reliable, affordable power grid for everyone.
A long-term vision for grid transformation,
Yeah.
recognizing power is fundamental.
Absolutely. A robust, adaptable power infrastructure isn't just a utility. It's a fundamental enabler of AI dominance and broader national prosperity and security.
Let's move on to Section 2.3. Restore American semiconductor manufacturing. Core idea. America invented the semiconductor, basically kickstarted modern tech. Now, we need to bring chip manufacturing, making the actual computer chips vital for AI, back to the U.S. The plan argues a revitalized U.S. chip industry means thousands of good jobs, stronger tech leadership, and protecting critical supply chains from foreign rivals. And the administration says it will lead this without making bad deals for the American taxpayer or saddling companies with sweeping ideological agendas.
Yeah, this is about bringing back a cornerstone industry, absolutely critical for national security, economic strength. It's a direct link. Physical manufacturing capability tied to the goal of AI dominance asserts a vital need for domestic control over these essential, super advanced components.
How does the plan aim to achieve this? Focus on the CHPS Act.
Yes. Recommends the Department of Commerce's revamped CHPS program office, the one overseeing the CHPS and Science Act. Money keeps focusing hard on getting a strong return on investment for taxpayers. It also mandates removing all extraneous policy requirements tied to CPS funding for semiconductor projects. And DOC and other agencies should work together to streamline regulations that slow down chip manufacturing efforts.
So, streamline CPS Act implementation. Focus on economic returns, cut perceived red tape.
That's clearly the intent. Accelerate the physical build-out, the reshoring of semiconductor production. Speed is key.
And there's a direct link back to AI itself.
Yes. Interestingly, DOC is also told to review all its semiconductor grants and research programs. Make sure they actively accelerate integrating advanced AI tools into the semiconductor manufacturing process itself.
Using AI to make chip making better, a feedback loop.
Exactly. A fascinating synergy. AI isn't just eating chips, it's also a tool to improve the very infrastructure it depends on. Creates this virtuous cycle of tech advancement.
Okay, next up. Section 2.4. Build high-security data centers for military and intelligence community usage. Core idea. AI systems are great for processing huge amounts of raw intelligence data. And given their future potential, it's likely AI will be used with some of the government's most sensitive classified data. So the data centers housing these models must be designed to be resistant to attacks by the most determined and capable nation-state actors.
This section really drives home the extreme sensitivity of the data AI will handle in national security. It's not just building data centers, it's building virtual fortresses for intelligence, ensuring unmatched security for the nation's most critical information.
How do they ensure that level of security? New standards.
Yes, create new, very stringent technical standards specifically for high-security AI data centers. This would be led jointly by DoD, the intelligence community, IC, the NSC, and NIST at DOC, including KSI, developed in close collaboration with industry and specialized groups called FFRDCs, Federally Funded Research and Development Centers.
Tapping into specialized expertise for these unique security needs.
Exactly. Military and intelligence AI have unique requirements. The collaborative approach ensures standards are cutting edge, incorporate the latest secure design and operational practices.
And promoting classified compute environments.
Yes. Actively advance agency adoption of these specialized computing infrastructures, designed specifically to support scalable, secure AI work involving classified information.
Practical steps for handling classified data with AI safely.
Absolutely. Shows a deep commitment to creating the necessary physical and digital infrastructure. Integrate AI into highly sensitive national security operations while maintaining strict data control and integrity.
Now, let's talk about the people needed to build all this infrastructure. Section 2.5. Train a skilled workforce for AI infrastructure. Core idea. To build the massive infrastructure for America's AI future, we need the workforce to actually build it, operate it, maintain it. This isn't just programmers, it's electricians, advanced HVAC techs, lots of other high-paying skilled jobs. To fix current shortages in many of these jobs, the admin plans to identify priority roles, develop modern skills frameworks, support industry-led training, and expand early pipelines education CTE apprenticeships to fuel AI leadership.
This section is so crucial. Reminds us AI isn't just software engineers. It's fundamentally about the backbone of the economy. The electricians, technicians, hands-on workers who will literally build and maintain the physical world AI needs. A very practical approach to workforce development, recognizing the wide range of skills needed for a total tech revolution.
How do they kick this off? Identifying the needed jobs.
Yes. DOL and DOC create a national initiative. Identify high-priority jobs essential for building AI infrastructure. Bring together employers, industry groups, workforce stakeholders. Develop or identify national skill frameworks, competency models, specifically for these roles.
A targeted approach based on specific infrastructure needs, getting employers involved.
Exactly. Ensure the skills identified are what industry actually needs right now. Foster job-ready people who can step right into these roles.
And supporting training programs.
DOL, DOE, ED, NSF, DOC partner with state local governments, workforce groups. Support industry-driven training programs for those priority AI infrastructure jobs. And critically, these programs should be co-developed by employers and training partners. Ensure graduates are job-ready, connected to hiring.
Employer input is key there, making training relevant, leading directly to jobs.
Paramount. Ensures the seamless transition from training to employment. Vital for building a skilled workforce quickly and efficiently.
What about getting young people interested?
DOL, ED, NSF partner with education and workforce systems. Expand early career exposure programs, pre-apprenticeships, specifically targeting middle and high school students for these priority AI infrastructure jobs. Spark early interest.
Building the talent pipeline early, generating interest in skilled trades.
Exactly. A strategic, long-term investment. Developing the future workforce, getting kids interested in these critical, often overlooked roles.
Updating career and technical education, CTE.
ED's Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education provides guidance to state local CTE systems, how to update their programs, align them directly with priority AI infrastructure jobs, refresh curriculum, expand dual enrollment options, high schoolers getting college credit.
Adapting vocational training for the AI era's specific needs.
Precisely. Making sure CTE programs produce grads with the skills needed for these new infrastructure jobs, directly addressing industry demand.
And apprenticeships, more focus there.
Yes. DOL expands the use of registered apprenticeships in critical AI infrastructure jobs. Focus on making it easier to launch new programs in priority fields. Remove barriers that stop employers from participating.
Leveraging that hands-on training model, making it easier for businesses.
Significant role for apprenticeships. This aims to boost participation, accelerating workforce development in these vital areas.
Finally, using DOE national labs for training.
Yes. DOE expands hands-on research training opportunities for students, educators. Leverage the huge AI expertise at the national labs. Explicitly includes partnering with community colleges, technical career colleges, prepare new workers, help transition existing workers into critical AI roles.
Tapping into national lab expertise for practical training. Bridging research and industry needs.
Excellent way to do it. Creates a direct link between cutting-edge science and practical skills application in the workforce.
Okay, next focus. Section 2.6, bolster critical infrastructure cybersecurity, core idea. As AI gets better at coding, its use in both cyber offense and defense will grow fast. A strong defense is crucial, especially for critical infrastructure owners, power grids, water systems who often have limited resources. The good news, the plan notes, is AI itself can be a great defensive tool, but using AI in cyber and critical infrastructure also makes those AI systems targets. So any use of AI in safety critical or homeland security areas must use secure by design, robust, resilient AI, instrumented to detect changes, alert to malicious activity.
This raises that critical point again. As AI gets deeper into critical systems becomes a bigger target. This section tackles that dual nature, AI as defense, AI as offense vulnerability, emphasizes the absolute need for secure by design from the very start for critical infrastructure AI.
How do they plan to bolster cybersecurity and AI-specific ISAC?
Yes. DHS, working with KSI at DOC and the Office of the National Cyber Director, establishes an AI Information Sharing and Analysis Center, an AI ISAC. Goal: promote rapid sharing of AI security threat info and intelligence across all U.S. critical infrastructure sectors.
Adapting the proven IAS model for AI threats. Sharing info fast.
Crucial in cybersecurity, especially with new, sophisticated AI-powered threats that can emerge and evolve incredibly quickly. Collaborative sharing is key.
And guidance for the private sector.
DHS issues and keeps updated guidance for private companies on how to fix and respond to AI-specific vulnerabilities and threats.
Practical advice for dealing with new kinds of cyber risks.
Essential. Helps critical infrastructure owners understand and mitigate vulnerabilities unique to AI systems, which are different from traditional software flaws.
And sharing government vulnerability info with industry.
Yes. Ensure collaborative, consolidated sharing of known AI vulnerabilities found in federal agencies with the private sector, when appropriate. Use existing cyber vulnerability sharing channels.
Government to industry threat intelligence. Leveraging government insights for broader protection.
Paramount. Creates a more unified, resilient defense posture across both public and private sectors against emerging AI threats.
Following logically, Section 2.7. Promote secure by design AI technologies and applications. Core idea. AI systems can be vulnerable to adversarial inputs, data poisoning, privacy attacks that wreck their performance. The U.S. government must ensure its own AI systems, especially for national security, are protected against bad inputs. Promoting resilient, secure AI development and deployment is seen as a core, ongoing government job.
This is all about building security in from the ground up, right? Not bolting it on later. Proactive defense against sophisticated attacks that could compromise AI systems, especially critical in national security where integrity is everything.
How do they promote this secure by design approach, refining existing frameworks?
Yes, DoD, working with NIST at DOC and ODNI, continues refining DoD's existing responsible AI and generative AI frameworks, roadmaps, toolkits.
So these guidelines for ethical, secure military AI keep evolving.
Exactly, it's not static. Continuous refinement based on new insights, new threats, evolving AI capabilities, an ongoing process.
And a standard for the intelligence community.
Yes. ODNI, consulting with DoD and KII at DOC, publishes an intelligence community standard on AI assurance under the authority of Intelligence Community Directive 505 on AI.
A unified standard for AI trustworthiness across all intelligence agencies.
Significant step. Ensures consistency, robust performance in how AI systems are assessed, developed, deployed in these highly sensitive environments. Common baseline for trust.
Final section under Pillar 3, Section 2.8. Promote mature federal capacity for AI incident response. Core idea. AI is spreading fast, so we need prudent planning. If AI systems fail in complex systems, sometimes do we need to minimize the impact on critical services or infrastructure? Response needs to be immediate, effective. To prepare, the U.S. government should promote developing and incorporating AI incident response actions into existing incident response doctrine and best practices for both public and private sectors.
If we put this in context, it's about planning for the inevitable, right? No system is perfect.
Yeah.
This section shows a real commitment to building resilience, rapid recovery into the national AI strategy. Acknowledging if systems fail, the goal is minimize the damage through well-rehearsed response plans.
How do they build this incident response capacity?
Yeah.
Standards and partnerships.
Yes. NIST at DOC, including KSI, partners with the AI and cybersecurity industries. Ensure AI is fully included when establishing standards, response frameworks, best practices, technical capabilities like specialized flyaway kits for incident response teams.
Specialized protocols and tools for AI-specific failures or attacks.
Absolutely needed. Equips response teams not just for traditional cyber incidents, but for the unique, often complex challenges posed by AI systems.
And updating existing government playbooks.
Modify CISA's cybersecurity and infrastructure security agencies' cybersecurity incident and vulnerability response playbooks. Update them to fully incorporate AI considerations, including requirements for chief information security officers to consult with chief AI officers, privacy officials, others during an incident.
Integrating AI into existing government-wide response mechanisms.
Makes the overall federal response more comprehensive, coordinated, effective. Ensures AI risks are systematically considered within established emergency protocols.
And encouraging vulnerability sharing.
Yes. DoD, DHS, ODNI, coordinating with OSDP, NSC, OMB, and the National Cyber Director's Office, actively encourage responsible sharing of AI vulnerability info, part of implementing an earlier executive order, 12306.
Timely, secure sharing of vulnerability info helps prevent widespread problems.
Paramount. This collaborative approach aimed to quickly spread critical threat intelligence across agencies and to the private sector, boosting collective defense.
Okay, we've covered pillar side of the two, innovation and infrastructure. Now, the final pillar. Pillar third, lead in international AI diplomacy and security. The big goal here, drive global adoption of American AI systems hardware standards. Leverage current U.S. leadership to stop adversaries from free riding on innovation. Establish a global alliance.
Yeah, the document is very clear. To really win the global AI race, America needs to project influence beyond its borders. It emphasizes the U.S. currently leads strongly in data centers, compute hardware performance, advanced AI models. So the imperative is leverage that advantage into a lasting global alliance. Shape the international AI landscape.
This leads right into Section 3.1. Export American AI to allies and partners. Core idea. U.S. must meet the growing global demand for AI. How? By exporting the full AI tech stack, hardware, models, software applications, standards to countries willing to join America's AI alliance. The plan calls failing to meet this demand unforced error that could push countries towards rivals. Spreading American tech widely is also seen as strategically preventing rivals from making allies dependent on adversary technology.
This isn't just about selling stuff, is it? It's really about building alliances through shared technology, a direct response to perceived global demand, aiming to make American AI the international standard, extending influence, countering geopolitical rivals by offering a trusted alternative.
How do they plan to facilitate these exports? A specific program?
Yes, Department of Commerce, DOC, establishes and runs a program specifically to gather proposals from industry consortia for full-stack AI export packages.
Exporting the whole ecosystem, not just parts. Why is that significant?
Strategically important for geopolitical influence. Ensures allies are building on a complete integrated American foundation. Fosters deeper tech alignment, interoperability. Locks them into the U.S. ecosystem, essentially.
Once proposals are chosen, how do the deals get done?
A whole bunch of government agencies coordinate. DOC, the Economic Diplomacy Action Group, U.S. Trade and Development Agency, Export-Import Bank, U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, Department of State, DOS. They all work together to facilitate deals that meet strict U.S.-approved security requirements and standards.
A big government effort for international tech transfer and economic diplomacy.
Shows a concerted push to get American AI out globally, but always within specific security boundaries to protect U.S. and allied interests.
Next section, 3.2. Counter Chinese influence in international governance bodies. Core idea. Lots of international groups are proposing AI governance frameworks. The U.S. supports allies working together on AI aligned with shared values, but the plan expresses major concerns. Argues too many efforts push burdensome regulations, vague codes of conduct promoting non-American values, or are unduly influenced by Chinese companies trying to shape standards for surveillance tech like facial recognition. So the U.S. intends to vigorously shape the global agenda in these forums.
This section explicitly acknowledges a deep values competition playing out globally in AI. It's not just about who has the best tech, it's critically about shaping the rules and norms for AI development worldwide. The document directly targets what it sees as problematic Chinese influence, especially around surveillance tech, positions the U.S. as a counterforce.
What's the policy action to counter this influence?
Department of State, DS and DOC need to strategically use the U.S. position in international diplomatic and standard-setting bodies. Explicit goal. Vigorously advocate for international AI governance that promotes innovation, reflects American values, and actively counters authoritarian influence.
So an ideological battleground in global AI rules. Proactive push for U.S. values.
Confirms that view. An assertive stance. Ensure international AI standards align with democratic values, contrasting sharply with rivals who might use AI for control.
Okay, now let's talk about controlling the tech itself. Section 3.3. Strengthen AI compute export control enforcement. Core idea. Advanced AI compute, the powerful processing needed for AI, is essential for economic growth, for military capabilities. Denying adversaries access is presented as both geostrategic competition and deep national security. Needs creative approaches to export control enforcement.
This gets very specific about stopping advanced chips ending up in the wrong hands. It's about tightening the net, being proactive in tracking exactly where these powerful components go, acknowledging their huge role in both economy and military power.
What are these creative approaches to enforcement? Location verification.
Yes. DOC, OSTP, NSC, working closely with industry, explore using new and existing location verification features built onto advanced AI compute chips to make sure the chips aren't being diverted to countries of concern.
Using embedded tech for enforcement, that sounds novel.
It is significant, highlights the challenge of tracking advanced parts globally, underscores needing tech solutions for enforcing strict export controls, moving beyond just paperwork.
And more global enforcement efforts.
Yes. Establish a new DOC effort working with intelligence community officials on global chip export control enforcement. Actively monitor new tech developments in AI compute to make sure controls cover everything. Watch for diversion routes. Use this enhanced monitoring to potentially expand end-use checks in high-risk countries.
More surveillance, tougher enforcement to stop tech leakage.
Signifies that. A continuous dynamic effort. Stay ahead of sophisticated attempts to get around export controls and acquire advanced AI capabilities, adapting to new evasion tactics.
Next topic, Section 3.4. Plug loopholes in existing semiconductor manufacturing export controls. Core idea. Semiconductors are incredibly complex. America and its close allies have near monopolies on many critical parts and processes in the manufacturing chain. The U.S. must keep inventing, but also diligently stop adversaries using U.S. innovations against national security. This needs new measures for gaps in current semiconductor manufacturing export controls, plus much better enforcement.
Putting this in perspective, it really shows the continuous cat-and-mouse game in tech control. Close one loophole, adversaries look for another. This section is about staying relentlessly ahead in this super complex global supply chain, where even small components can be strategically vital.
What's the main policy action here? Controlling subsystems.
Yes. DOC needs to develop new export controls specifically on semiconductor manufacturing subsystems. The plan notes right now the U.S. and allies control the major systems for making chips, but not many of the crucial component subsystems that could potentially be assembled elsewhere.
Ah, the choke point strategy again, targeting the smaller pieces.
It's exactly. Focusing on the granular components, the subsystems of advanced manufacturing. Prevent adversaries from building controlled systems using uncontrolled parts, tightening the export control net across the whole supply chain.
Following this, Section 3.5, Align protection measures globally. Core idea. U.S. imposes strong export controls on sensitive tech, needs to actively encourage partners and allies to do the same, ensure they don't backfill supply tech the U.S. is restricting if allies don't align. The plan suggests the U.S. should consider using powerful economic tools, like the foreign direct product rule, secondary tariffs, to force alignment.
This section is absolutely critical for creating that unified front, a very clear message to allies. If we're in this race together, protect the lead together. Outlines the strategy. Diplomatic persuasion first, but if needed, powerful economic and political levers to ensure compliance, a cohesive global stance. That foreign direct product rule lets the U.S. block exports of foreign-made stuff if it uses specific U.S. tech, extends U.S. controls beyond borders, secondary tariffs, penalize countries not playing along.
How do they develop this alignment, sharing protection measures?
Yes. DOC and DOS, coordinating with NSC, DOE, NSF, develop, implement, and share info on complementary tech protection measures. Broadly defined includes basic research, higher education, mitigate risks from adversaries across the board.
Protecting tech beyond just commercial exports, research, academia, too.
Exactly. Recognizes sensitive tech can move through many channels, not just sales, needs a multifaceted approach.
And a diplomatic plan for an AI alliance.
Yes. DOS, coordinating with DOC, DOD, DOE, develops a technology diplomacy strategic plan for an AI global alliance, align incentives, policy levers across government, get key allies to adopt complementary AI protection systems, export controls across the whole supply chain, make sure they don't supply adversaries, intentionally or not.
A sophisticated diplomatic push for a unified front on tech control.
Comprehensive strategy. Leveraging economic political influence, build a cohesive global network for tech protection, prevent adversaries getting critical AI capabilities.
The plan also mentions plurilateral controls, avoiding reliance on big treaty bodies.
Yes. Expand new initiatives for promoting controls among smaller groups, plurilateral controls for the AI tech stack. Explicitly avoid relying solely on broader multilateral treaty bodies.
Why smaller groups? Faster, more effective.
That's the strategy. Form smaller, more agile groups of like-minded nations for tech control. Recognizes getting consensus in big multilateral bodies can be slow, difficult. Focused alliances can act faster, more effectively sometimes.
And coordinating directly with allies on specific controls?
Yes. DOC and DOD coordinate with allies, ensure they adopt U.S. export controls, work together to jointly develop new controls, and explicitly prohibit U.S. adversaries from supplying their defense industries or buying controlling stakes in defense suppliers.
Deep integration of defense and commerce in international tech policy.
Shows that clearly. A tightly coordinated global strategy. Prevent adversaries acquiring critical AI capabilities and infrastructure. Ensure long-term security.
Okay, next section, 3.6. Ensure that the U.S. government is at the forefront of evaluating national security risks in frontier models. Core idea. The most powerful AI systems might pose totally new, unprecedented national security risks soon. Could be enabling sophisticated cyber attacks, helping develop CBRNE weapons, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear explosives, introducing entirely new security vulnerabilities. And because America leads in AI now, the risks in our frontier models are likely a direct preview of what adversaries will have soon. Understanding these risks as they emerge is vital for national defense, homeland security.
This raises that critical question again. How do you evaluate risks from something so cutting-edge its capabilities are still emerging, even surprising its creators? This section outlines a strategy of continuous, proactive assessment, using our own advanced capabilities as a preview of future adversary threats. emphasizing foresight in national security.
How do they put this to action, evaluating frontier
The
models?
CISI at DOC, working with agencies expert in CBR&E and cyber risks, evaluates frontier AI systems in close partnership with the developers themselves.
Proactive risk assessment of the most advanced models, involving government experts and the private sector developers.
Crucial approach. Leverages both deep government expertise on threats and the developer's unique understanding of their complex systems.
And assessing adversaries' AI systems already in the U.S.
Yes, a related vital effort. KISI at DOC, collaborating with national security agencies, meticulously evaluates potential security vulnerabilities and malign foreign influence from adversaries' AI systems used within critical infrastructure or elsewhere in the U.S. economy, rigorously checking for backdoors, other malicious behaviors embedded in foreign AI tech.
Counterintelligence focused specifically on foreign AI tech inside the U.S.
Critical effort. Recognizes adversarial AI, if integrated into sensitive systems, could pose direct, profound national security threats.
How do they get the expertise for these evaluations? Recruiting.
Prioritize recruiting leading AI researchers at key federal agencies, NIST, KaiSedoc, DOE, DODIC, GOAL. Ensure the federal government can keep offering cutting-edge evaluations, sharp analysis of AI systems.
Recognizing the need for top human talent to assess advanced AI risks.
Underscores that importance. Acknowledges the intense global competition for AI expertise. Emphasizes the government needs to attract and retain the best minds to stay ahead of emerging threats.
And this evaluation process is ongoing.
Yes. TISI at DOC, national security agencies, research institutions collaborate, build, maintain, and update national security-related AI evaluations continuously.
An iterative process, adapting constantly to new AI capabilities, new threats.
Exactly, not a one-time check. Perpetual process of adapting to rapid evolution in AI, deployment context, emerging dangers. Requires constant vigilance.
Our final section to explore. Section 3.7, Invest in Biosecurity, Core Idea. AI offers almost limitless potential in biology. Groundbreaking cures, new industrial uses, revolutionizing sectors. But the plan soberly acknowledges AI could also accidentally or deliberately create new ways for bad actors to synthesize harmful pathogens, other dangerous biomolecules. The solution proposed, a multi-tiered approach. Rigorously screen for malicious actors, develop new tools, infrastructure for better screening, actively encourage international adoption of these measures.
This is a really sobering reminder, isn't it? With great power comes great responsibility, especially in biology. AI's potential there is immense, but so are the risks, particularly that chilling prospect of making bioweapon creation easier. This plan gets very specific about preventing misuse of these powerful tools, recognizing the potential for catastrophe.
How do they plan to mitigate these biorisks? Screening requirements.
Require all institutions getting federal research funding to use nucleic acid synthesis tools, think specialized bioprinters for ddRNA, and providers that have robust sequence screening and customer verification. And crucially, create enforcement mechanisms for this, not just rely on voluntary promises.
Focusing on a critical choke point, synthesizing genetic material, mandatory screening with enforcement.
Exactly. Addresses the specific risk of AI enabling bioweapon creation. Makes it much harder for malicious actors to get the basic building blocks for harmful pathogens.
And data sharing between the companies that make this genetic material.
OSTP convenes government and industry. Develop a mechanism to facilitate data sharing between nucleic acid synthesis providers, explicitly to help them screen better for potentially fraudulent or malicious customers.
Intelligence sharing within the commercial biosynthesis industry itself.
Critical need. Exchanging info on suspicious orders or customers creates a more secure, vigilant ecosystem for biological research and development.
And finally, reiterating the need for national security AI evaluations, specifically mentioning biosecurity.
Yes, repeats the point from 3.6. CISI, national security agencies, research institutions collaborate on building, maintaining, updating national security-related AI evaluations, re-emphasizing its broad application, including its absolutely critical role in the biosecurity domain.
Connecting the dots, AI evaluation expertise applies across many threat types.
Underscores that. Expertise in assessing AI's national security risks is transferable. Robust AI evaluation capabilities are fundamental for addressing a wide range of emerging dangers, including biosecurity threats.
So, wow, we have really unpacked a truly comprehensive document here, haven't we? America's AI Action Plan is way more than just a policy paper. It feels like a detailed roadmap, not just for developing AI, but actively shaping its future in America and, well, globally.
It really does lay out an ambitious vision. Requires not just incredible tech skill, but also Significant societal change, constant vigilance. It shows a highly proactive, integrated approach. Covers everything from regulatory reform to massive energy grid upgrades, complex international diplomacy. Fundamentally sees AI not just as tech, but as this force reshaping everything: society, global power.
And running through our whole discussion, that theme kept coming up: how deeply AI dominance is tied to national security, from military uses to protecting critical infrastructure to actively fighting adversarial influence worldwide.
We also saw that clear tension, didn't we?
Okay.
And the proposed balance. On one side, push for rapid private sector innovation, remove red tape, encourage open source. On the other, implement really strict security measures, expert controls, secure data centers, critical biosecurity rules. It's a constant negotiation between speed and safety.
And for you, the listener, it's worth remembering that explicit worker-first agenda in the plan. That strategy focuses on actively empowering American workers, targeted skills development, retraining, with the clear goal of creating high-paying jobs from this huge AI infrastructure build-out, a vision where tech progress and economic opportunity are meant to go together.
This action plan genuinely maps out a compelling future vision. Needs profound tech prowess, yes, but also huge societal adaptation, continuous watchfulness. It certainly raises some big questions. How fast can such a sweeping change really happen? And crucially, who ultimately carries the responsibilities? Who benefits most from this ambitious national project?
Given the incredible scope of this plan, I mean, from streamlining permits all the way to sequencing genomes on federal land, what parts of your own life do you think will be most deeply affected as this vision of America's AI dominance starts to play out? And what might be the unforeseen trade-offs, the consequences of such a rapid, all-encompassing technological acceleration? We really hope this deep dive into America's AI action plan has given you a valuable shortcut, helped you get informed about a document that could genuinely shape all our futures. Keep digging, keep learning, and please join us next time for another deep dive.